What is up, guys? It is Prince J. Today, we're back with another Sparking Zero update. The upcoming Dragon Ball Z game officially announced to have a release date on October 11th this year. Big surprise to me, but I'm actually not too unpleased about it. I think the game is looking pretty good. There's a few things I'm a little iffy about still, but let's get right into it, okay? First, we're going to take a look at this new trailer we have. We have the release date trailer just came out a few days ago. Let's go and take a quick look.
A test of power. I guess we'll see. This will be when the true battle begins. Your head.
It's the same true power!
I'm going to blow you into a million pieces, just like I did at her.
You talking about thrilling? Don't you dare! I'm not going to hell alone. You were only a ride. Are you ready? Do it! Well, the way you slice it, there's only one way to save her. Goodbye, my friends. No matter what it takes, I need to rescue Gohan. Goku, wait! What? I'll never, ever forgive you for this! Now you will suffer my wrath. You are impressive, boy! I will show you the true form of autonomous Ultra. It's my turn. Change everything, then. This is something I don't think you can win. There is no way you can.
Okay. So clearly very gorgeous. Finally got our full release date. Got some pretty cool things coming. We can talk about these really briefly. They've been talked about many times already, I'm sure, all over the internet. But we have a couple of different editions. We got the standard edition, which just has some I actually really like the box art. I think it's a really nice callback to the first Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi, or Sparking, if you want to say that. And I dig it actually. I think look at the sparks on Vegeta. I love that, man. This is his advanced Super Saiyan Blue stage. I kind of wish it would have been regular Super Saiyan Goku, to be honest, just for a little bit of a callback, but I do kind of dig that they went with his most recent form. Got Super Saiyan Rage Trunks. I think it's actually just Super Saiyan 2 Trunks, but we all know what goes on there later on, especially with this particular attack. Got Frieza, got Jiren, and we got Broly. Okay. We don't know too much about what's going to be in these DLC packs as far as characters. We have a little bit of a hint as far as we got Gamma 1 and 2 coming. We got a few Dragon Ball Daima characters, I'm assuming. This says 20 plus playable characters for DLC Pass 1 and 2. We haven't seen many of the Dragon Ball Daima characters. We've seen a couple of the enemies that were unveiled at a panel a few months ago back at Dragon Ball Hour 2024. Mostly we just saw the kid versions of some of the Z Fighters, Goku, Vegeta, Krillin. I think we even saw a hint of Piccolo, Mr. Satan, Android 18, Chi-Chi. And yeah, we don't really know what to expect there. As far as Dragon Ball superhero characters, I'm kind of if we have Gamma 1 and 2, I'm gonna assume we're gonna have Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, and maybe even Cell Max, which would be really cool. To have a giant another giant enemy character to fight. This intrigues me as well. This is Goku with the power pole. I'm not sure if this is actually Goku in his adult form from Daima, because he's not wearing he doesn't have a belt or a tied off belt. When Goku had his power pole at the beginning of the Z, he had the tied off belt, which had the extensions here. Whenever you saw him in the artwork, he never actually used the power pole really as an adult that we saw, especially in Dragon Ball Z, but it was mostly used in promotional art back in the day. But anyway, spent a little too much time on this. Really looking forward to see what comes out of Shenron, see what happens when you summon Super Shenron. We don't know too much other than what they've really shown right here, other than the little diorama we get as well. Some pretty cool little cards, metallic bookmarks. That's really neat, actually. And a couple of different like alternate covers for the cover art. And a steel bookcase was really cool, actually. A lot of people were saying they wish this was actually the cover art. I dig the regular cover art. I think it looks cool. Even this one, I feel like if this was going to be like the regular one, this should have been just Goku like this, because to me the one with all of them on it is actually the cooler one. I would have probably chosen that one to be like more of the upgraded editions. But anyways, let's go back to what was unveiled in this pretty. So first off, we got Broly versus Ultra Instinct Goku in his first full reveal in a trailer. Looking really cool.
True battle begins.
We don't see too much of him just yet until the end. Then we go straight into Broly versus Gogeta, which is looking really good. This is on the Namek, Destroyed Planet Namek. I kind of hope they have an actual Destroyed Planet Earth, because in the Broly movie, Goku and Vegeta fought Broly on planet Earth. It wasn't on Namek. And if you look a little bit closer, this is actually, let's see. How hard to spell this. It's so fast, man. But that is Namek. There we go. Okay, you can kind of see the houses in the greenery a little bit over here. All right, but moving on. Then we go straight into over here as well a little bit. Anyways, we go straight into the Cell fight with the Cell Games Arena. Loving the details in the background, little cars, the tanks and planes that were ripped apart. That actually happens in the anime. The giant craters. Love the draw distance. I'm still wondering how far you can actually go. Because I remember in the old Budokai Tenkaichi, the first one, this was actually the very first stage that was shown was the Cell Games. By Mr. Donnie Clay in an old interview you had over at IGN. And you could actually destroy a couple of these things down here, which is pretty cool. You couldn't go too much further because it actually had like the big green grid barrier that blocks you off. But this is next gen, man. So I'm hoping that they gave us a little bit more leeway to where we can go in this environment here. Hope we can destroy these trees. Those are all pretty close too. And this is Unreal Engine 5, dude. We should do a lot of really cool stuff. Love all the throwbacks, callbacks to the Cell Goku versus Cell fight here. Oh man, this is looking really sharp, dude. And I'm sure my computer's not even doing it justice, even on this screen here. But man, wow, look at all the details in the back. I love this. I love how much attention Spike pays to the shows that they're inspired by. Like, because all this stuff is actually part of the show, and like it's definitely been a little bit more elaborated to make you feel like you're immersed in it. But this is so cool, man. Love this. All right, now we got Goku Black in his reveal. He didn't really get a full reveal, but you got kind of a few glimpses of him in fighting like this. Loving how the backgrounds in the city are looking. You can actually see in a couple windows even, which is pretty cool. You don't really see much in them, but you can see the transparency. Even Goku Black's little earring here, his Vittori earring, is pretty cool. It's got a little glow to it. Man. All right, knocks him straight through here. I like this. Not going to nitpick too much about like how blocky it is. I actually kind of like that, and I also understand, because to keep these graphics at 60 frames per second and to not like, jar you out of the combat, it needs to kind of have a little bit of leeway for some of the assets. Besides, you're going to be fighting really fast, and you're not going to be really paying attention to too much of that. The fact that it was destroyed. But I do appreciate all the little details and the amount of like cracks and stuff they're putting into things. The amount of things that are on the screen to destroy is pretty insane and really cool. Even being able to destroy the ground, man. All right, one of the best fights in Dragon Ball Z, man, was the Piccolo versus Android 17 fight. Legendary, but also like really not mentioned until like the past few years, more widely, I'd say. A lot of us talked about it who were fans, talked about that fight for years, but it's really nice to see it getting more popularity. I think it became more popular because Piccolo was really the star of Dragon Ball Superhero. Man, this is the Wastelands. This is, I think, where Raditz, not Raditz, excuse me, Nappa and Vegeta arrive and fight. This could also double as the this fight as well, but they should be on an island. This is just probably just a generic fight, to be honest, where just two people pick their characters and pick the stage. Woo. Yeah, you're gonna be going flying through all these mountains, man. All right, now we got a Vegeta, got a little bit more destruction. He's doing the same exact attack he does when we first saw him reveal himself in the first trailer. I think he's fighting yeah, he is. He's fighting Bergamo, looks like it. Pretty cool. You get to see a little of the size and scale for him because Bergamo's actually a pretty large character. He's not a super small. And he can actually grow to this size as well. Majin Buu, man. Oh, look at that impact frame, dude. They cooked, man. Look at that. Look at this, the steam and everything coming out of his pores. They did such a good job. The teeth, the tongue, the eyes, the cheeks, all that stuff. Really great attention to detail, Spike. Look at that, dude. And it's so fast that you can barely catch it when, I'm sure, especially when you're playing, but I don't know, man. I don't know any other way to say it other than that you feel it because you're in the moment of the play. I'm trying to catch that little gameplay moment so you can kind of see how he looks at that angle. 1 second, I'm gonna get it. I'm not gonna take too long here. I think that's actually where it kind of starts. But then you kind of see he gets you can kind of see his gameplay camera angle. Dude, Goku looks so sick right here. They did a great job with the cinematics. They really need to put when it comes to a Kakarot, especially the Kakarot movie is really got the and this is the next two games, like first game next to Dragon Ball Z game, or Dragon Ball
Well, the way you slice it, there's one way to save her. Bye, my friends.
And thankfully, as we can see right here, we have some pretty interesting things going on with the story here. We're getting a lot of first-person camera angles. This I'm assuming this is Goku. This has to be Goku. Even right here, when Piccolo shoots him and Raditz and he sacrifices himself, this is from a first-person angle. This is actually Goku's perspective. You can see because he's right over the shoulder or right behind his shoulders. Oh, Majin Vegeta, man, one of my favorite characters. Okay. Trying to catch the stories.
Well, the way you slice it.
But I'm wondering what's going on with the story here.
Are you ready?
Well, the way you slice it, there's one way to save her. Bye, my friends. No matter what it takes, I need you to go home.
And really give you some really cool moments. I shouldn't say you could choose your own story so much in the past. You could choose like really interesting fights that had like cinematic elements to them that were already like pre-set up by the developer, like with actual cutscenes and everything and dialogue that was planned. But this is actually you're altering the story of Dragon Ball Z, it seems, and probably also Dragon Ball Super, depending on how far it goes. So far, we've gotten confirmation that it does go from Dragon Ball Z, from Raditz to the end of Super. That has been said by the developer themselves. Everything in between, or excuse me, before or after that, we don't know about just yet. So anything GT related or Dragon Ball, original Dragon Ball related, where Goku's a child, has not been officially announced yet. There is some Daima stuff. Obviously, we've seen Daima be announced as part of the game. Daima characters will be in this game as well as superhero characters from the movie Dragon Ball Superhero. But there's nothing outside of that just yet. As far as like Super Dragon Ball Z. It's really just sticking to Dragon Ball Z and Super, it seems right now, which is okay. We have plenty of room for DLC, and Super gave us a lot of really cool and new characters. They need this. Going Super Saiyan against Vegeta, man. During the Saiyan saga, what a cool moment. There's so many things that like how far can you take the what ifs? How far does this go? Like how crazy can you really get with it? There we go. What a great transformation. That is going to be so cool and honestly really satisfying to do in the game, man. This transforming into Ultra Instinct. We're all hoping they have Ultra Instinct Sign as well, where he still has the black hair and he does some really sick moves as well. They were pretty iconic. Really brought Dragon Ball fandom out of the woodwork when he started to do Ultra Instinct stuff, especially during when he was Ultra Instinct Sign. This is a moment that I'm wondering if this is part of the what if story, like the main story mode that you can alter, or if this is part of something we're going to be known right now is called custom battle. And we're talking about that in just a moment. But it seems that you can actually create your own battles and upload them online. We're not necessarily sure exactly what that means yet because it hasn't been fully explained clearly. I'm guessing they're probably going to talk about that a little bit more in July. There is a playable demo that's going to be in Japan for Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero or Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. A lot of people are already looking forward to that. Gohan looks so sick, man. That's one of his coolest like moments too. Even though he doesn't really do anything, that was one of his coolest like moments where he transforms, where it was kept really memorable. Even where Gohan he has these cool moments and then he immediately gets owned or just like completely wiped. Until Superhero. Bardock looks really cool, man. Even Mr. Satan looks awesome, man. Got Bergamo in the background. This is definitely the Tournament of Power stage, so it's good to know we have that arena. Nappa. Bergamo and his brothers. They're going to be interesting to fight, man. They were really interesting in the show, I thought. Good things, Gogeta. I love that attack, man. When I saw it in the Broly movie, look at that. Look at the ring effect and everything, man. They really did some great work. And Broly's effects are just sick and sick too, man. Like he's got electricity. I don't even remember having electricity in the last trailer like that. It might have been so quick I didn't notice. Future Trunks. Man, we got Jiren finally. Jiren had been in the very first trailer, I think, but it was just a quick glimpse. Catch. We got the Tournament of Power stage, man. Woo! All right. Want to see that sculpt of this. Dude, these impact frames are crazy. They're going to make it feel like you really are playing the anime, which is awesome. Oh my God, that is so cool, man. The streaks in the eyes. Come on, man. These guys are nerds. Spike Chunsoft, you guys are such nerds. I love it, though. You guys put so much work and love into this. Even with whatever gripes I have, I can't deny how much you clearly love Dragon Ball. Yeah, this is what I was trying to get, like, just so you could see a little bit more of the Tournament of Power stage. There was a screen I was able to catch a while back where you could see kind of how large it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be a pretty huge stage, actually, which is good because a lot of things happen there. A lot of really cool fights that we don't really see too much of anywhere. Okay, this is a pretty no, can't really see the background, but you can see how great these effects are. Okay, so how so we it's been announced that the story mode is going to have 8 different characters you play as. Who those characters are, we do not know. Nothing's been officially said as far as to who they are. We can assume Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Piccolo are pretty much certain. And even Trunks. I would even say Trunks is probably certain because he has really probably the most leeway in terms of he can travel anywhere within the Dragon Ball universe time wise, and kind of get away with it. Um, I also feel like a couple of those slots will be reserved for a villain or two. Definitely, I would say Frieza is going to be one of them. I kind of think you're going to either be able to unlock more, like maybe like up to 10. Um, and if you don't start with 8 already and Frieza's one of them, I think you're going to have at least a couple unlockables that 1 or 2 of them is going to be a villain, or you're going to start with like maybe 4, 5, something like that, and then you can unlock the other 4 as you go along, and one of them is going to happen to be a villain. But I definitely think that Goku, Gohan, Vegeta, and Piccolo and Trunks are pretty sure they're going to be one of those 8 characters. How far can you take the story, man, before it starts to change up on you? Or like not before it changes, but how far can you take it before it ends? How far can you actually progress in that story and it actually stays I don't want to say relevant, but where it's not where it can actually continue going and it doesn't feel cheap or like they didn't really care, like they just kind of cut it off for you. How far does the story go? Can you actually jump out of the way when Piccolo shoots the special beam cannon or the Makako Sapo at Goku? Can you actually kill Vegeta as or say let Krillin kill Vegeta when he was threatening him when he was trying to escape on when he was still on Earth at the end of the Saiyan saga? There's so many questions like what happens if Gohan lives in the future, in the dark future? There's there's a bunch of really cool scenarios that could come out of this, and I'm really excited for that. But it's it's gonna be interesting no matter what. I think it's gonna be a very interesting story mode, and I think it's gonna really take up a lot of time, which is cool because we already had confirmation that Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku in the US, recorded at least 60 hours of dialogue just for his character alone. Now it makes sense that Goku, being the main character, the star, is going to have probably the most dialogue, but I think he actually said 60 to 80 hours. But that's a ton of dialogue, man, especially for the Dragon Ball Z, even for the super stuff that's added on. Um, that's a lot, man. So there's going to be a lot of interesting segues, tangents that you can take in this game, I think, in the story mode. Even if it just tends to being 8 characters and it doesn't go any further than that, I think you're going to get a lot of cool variety of what you can do. And that brings me to the custom battles. Custom battles have been said to, if you go to the official website, they're talking how these custom battles will be handled where you can upload them online and share them with the world. Now, I'm not sure if this is just going to be you're going to record like you versus like the computer and you can upload the footage online, maybe change a couple camera angles to people to watch, or if this is you actually creating fights that people can take place in. You set up a little bit of a scenario, they maybe give you some pre-recorded dialogue that you can set and put into the fight or put into the pre-fight as you go into it, maybe even set up like a little mini cutscene, like basically basic stuff where you can just set the setting and just say what character you want to be there and like a basic phrase that a few of them would say. I honestly don't even know if it's going to be that intricate. What my honest thought is that it's going to be kind of like Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. I have it on the Switch myself. I play it pretty often, and you can actually create missions on yourself on there and upload them online still. And it's pretty cool. It's kind of basic though. It's not like, oh, like you're creating cutscenes basically, or you're not doing anything with dialogue. You're really just making you can make really crazy hard fights with crazy battle conditions. Like you have to end the fight with a Kamehameha from Goku or something. And that's the kind of stuff you can do. Or you have to not get hit the entire fight with a beam, or or you lose the fight. Like that's the winning condition. You can't be hit with like a beam or something. I don't even think that's one of them, but that's something that's an example of like how crazy people can make the conditions though. But I think it might be something more akin to that. I honestly hope that it's more of where you can actually change dialogue and stuff, considering what they're doing with the story mode already, like the main story mode, episode battle, they're calling it. I'm hoping that you can actually do some really cool stuff with the custom battle as well that goes beyond what we've already seen in other Dragon Ball games. And that's another thing. They actually made a point that custom battle is bringing stuff to the table that we've not seen in a Dragon Ball game before, where they're saying that custom battle is something we have not seen before. So that's why I think a lot of people online are more, myself included, are really intrigued by it, because it could be something that actually is different and could keep the game like going for a long time. Other than that, we also have a confirmation of co-op versus, but it's only limited to the hyperbolic time chamber, otherwise known as the room of spirit and time in Japan. And I was not okay with that when I first heard about this. But after doing a little bit of research and realizing that maybe there were so many assets that could be destroyed, it's probably the best. If you want to have somebody next to you on the couch play this game with you and not and still have it at full 60 frames per second, especially, it's probably not going to be able to run if you have too many things that are definitely destroyable on the screen. It probably does. It probably just slows down the hardware for some reason. I hate to say that. I don't want to say it's like an excuse, but it also is an excuse. The fact of the matter is that they probably don't want you playing anything other than playing online. They want you to play online. They don't want you really to play next to your homies, because that's what most people will probably end up doing, and making you not want to buy the game when you can play at your friend's house. So that lowers sales, hurting, their profit. So it's just a business decision. I really think we can say all we want about like, oh, the hardware can't handle it. Dude, it's 2024, man. Like Unreal Engine 5 should be able to handle so much. Split screen, come on. I mean, I know there's a lot of crazy. We could have some exclusive stages that have fewer assets besides the main ones. If this game only has like 10 to 12 stages, dude, that's already pretty disappointing. Like we should have at least 20 to 30 stages in this. Granted, Budokai Tenkaichi 3 Sparking Meteor had 35 like stages, but it was most of it was like variations of a night and day or a destroyed version of a stage. But they were varied enough to be, interesting, kept the fights interesting. But with the size of these new maps, we might not need as many as I think. Well, that's pretty much it, guys. Really looking forward to this game. It's still a few months away. Let's go support if you're looking forward to it. If you're not, it's all good, man. There's plenty of other games you can buy out there. But me, myself, I'm definitely looking forward to Sparking Zero, October 11th. All right, talk to you guys soon. Peace.